Today, Saturday, the 1st of February 2025, we have some hand-picked match predictions to share with you, which will be backed up by some stats and analytics to help you make your picks in this list to boost your winning by a greater percent. And to those of you who want to have access to our hand-picked event, which we share to members only, as well as our top list of game predictions for 1.5 and 2.5 goals, as well as corner kick events with huge odds to take your winning to the next height, then you want to make sure to join either the level 2 pro plan or the level 3 master plan to start to have access to these features to take your winning to the next height. To those of you who want to join, the link is below this video description. So without wasting time, let's begin with the first game of our today's pick. But before we proceed, let's look at the event of yesterday. So congratulations based on yesterday's event, for we all register wins. So let's look at the result of yesterday. So looking at the event of yesterday, we have a total of 8 games we share with you. Of course, we had 7 successful events, and we want to say congratulations to you all. Even our members had successful wins in terms of our top list of goals predictions as well as corner kick event. Congratulations to you all. Of course, I will go ahead to share all the games we had. I will start with all the successful events. And looking at the first successful event, a match between Salah against Al Duhal, we said that Al Duhal is going to lead and also the possibility of at least 1.5 or 2.5 goals. Both cases were true. Al Duhal lead and also the possibility of goals probability successful. In the next, we looked at Saudi Arabia in the professional league, Al Hilal against Al Agdod. We specified that the home is going to lead. We also said that there will be the possibility of 1.5 and 2.5 going full time. Both cases were true. Congratulations. Al Hilal lead by 4-0, and also the possibility of goals over 1.5 and 2.5. In the next, we looked at United Arab Emirates, Al Nas against Al Aruba, and we said that Al Nas will lead. And we also look at the possibility of 1.5 and 2.5 going full time. Both cases were true. Al Nas lead, and 3 goals were scored. Congratulations. In the next, we looked at Bundesliga, that is Germany Bundesliga women. Frankfurt women against Bayer Leverkusen women, where we look at the possibility of 1.5 and 2.5 going full time. It ended as 3-2, a total of 5 goals. Successful. Congratulations. In the next, we looked at England in the Premier League Cup. We had 2 games on this list. The first was Chelsea U21 against Derby. We looked at 1.5 and 2.5 going full time. Both cases were true. Congratulations. In the next, we looked at Huddersfield against Sheffield United, where we looked at 1.5 and 2.5 going full time. Both cases were true. It ended as 3-2, a total of 5 goals. Successful. Congratulations. Next, we had in the Premier League Women of France. This is still going live, but of course, it is already successful at the 67th minute. We said that the away team, Lyon Women, will lead. And also, we talked about the possibility of 1.5 and 2.5 going full time. You can see at the 67th minute, Lyon Women is already leading 4-1. And of course, a total of 5 goals at this 67th minute. Successful already. Of course, we had these events as successful. The only unsuccessful event on this list was just one, which was in the United Arab Emirates Al Sajjar against Diba Al Sin. We looked at 2 possibilities here. At least 1.5 goals, or of course the home leading. But of course, goals probability was our safest option, where we look at least 1.5 goal. We had a shortage of 1 goal here. So we had, out of these 8, 7 successful events. So congratulations on yesterday's event. All our members, or those that registered member of Level 2 Pro, as well as Level 3 Master, registered wins based on the game prediction we gave also on our handpick event for members only. Congratulations to you all. So let's now proceed to the event of today. Now let's proceed to today's event. But before we proceed, I have a quick announcement to make. If you come here to the front page of our channel titled as the home page, you're going to see that we provide match predictions based on corner kicks as well as goals match pick, which we provide to our members only. And for you to have access to these features, you want to make sure to become a member by subscribing to either the Level 2 Pro plan or the Level 3 Master plan to have access to these features to take your winning to the next height. Not only are you going to receive match predictions once you become a member, but of course you have additional bonuses, like for example, if you are a member of the level 2 pro plan, you're going to have access to level 2 pro classes as well, which of course you have access to epic video tutorial strategy like live match corner kick strategy to make consistent win, a simple trick to make consistent winning with handpick event we share with you, never seen match prediction strategy which you have never seen, revealing all the secrets we have explained here, as well as the comeback strategy for straight win that will amaze you, followed by tactical straight win and over 2.5 goal strategy, as well as 99% win rate strategy, which you can use for your advantage. In other words, becoming a member of the Level 2 Pro plan will also give you access to Level 2 Pro classes to take advantage of these tutorials to start taking your winning to the next height. And if you become a member of the Level 3 Master Plan, you have access to even more epic video tutorial titled as Level 3 Master Classes, where you have access to the top secret AI tool, which we use to find games in terms of goals probability and straight win. That is game changer corner kick strategy that reveal our top secret website we use to find corner kick games, as well as the technique to find the best event. Amazing tools we use, which you can take advantage of it. The home and away match prediction strategy, which you can use step by step, as well as the 2.5 goal strategy to beat the bookies and win even more. These are other bonuses you're going to have by watching this tutorial to take advantage of these level 2 pro plan or the level 3 master plan. And once you're a member of the level 3 master plan, you're also going to have access to all the level 2 classes as well. And using all of this strategy, of course, you're going to start to take your winning to the next height. In other words, becoming a member will give you access to this, as well as our handpicked events, which we shared to members only, as you can see here. And once you become a member, you have access to all of these features. You want to make sure that you grab this opportunity and start to have access to our epic match prediction strategies, which we have revealed to members of the Level 2 Pro plan, whereas Level 3 Master and the handpicked event we share with them to take their winning to the next height. To those of you who want to join, the link is below this video description. You want to choose, that is, navigate to the link, click on it, and decide what level you want to join. And join and start to have access to these features to take your winning to the next level. And of course, I'll also put the direct link, which of course, after subscribing as a member of Level 2 Pro plan or Level 3 Master plan, you're going to have access to all the video tutorial we have shared in just one place. So you want to make sure to go ahead and join and start to have these benefits. So without wasting time, let's proceed to the first event of our today's match pick. Looking at the first event here, we look at Turkey in the second league, that is the red group, a match between Vanspor against Giresunspor. In this event, the performance of the home Vanspor recently have proved to be very amazing, scoring 3, 5, and 2 goals in each event recently with a very high offensive strength. Its opponent, on the other hand, is a highly conceding team, and the defensive line is very weak. Looking at the stand performance of these two in terms of recent events they have had, the home have proved to be very offensive, scoring 14 goals in 5 games, telling us that the offensive strength is stronger. That of its opponent, on the other hand, have proved that the defensive line is very weak, conceding 12 goals in 5 events with just 5 goals scored. And looking at this, we want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, the home performance have proved to be amazing, and the defensive line of its opponent is not very tough. We are looking at the home to take advantage of that weak defense to either lead this match in full time as one of the major picks, and want to look also at least 1.5 goal to occur in this match in full time. Looking at the next, we looked at Cyprus in the Division 2 Championship, a match between OL Nicosia against Onis Silus. For this event, Nicosia have proved to be very offensive based on recent events they have had, as you can see, scoring 2, 4, and 2 goals in each event. The opponent, on the other hand, proved to be very conceding with a very weak defensive line. And looking at the stand performance in terms of recent events they have had, of course, the home have proved that the offensive lineup is very tough. As you can see, they are just coming for the first match play for this tournament. And its opponent, on the other hand, you can see the defensive line of the opponent is not very tough, as you can see. And since they are coming for this tournament, it's the 3rd round, we want to look at 1 to 2 major picks in full time. For this particular event, of course, the performance of the home have proved to be amazing based on recent events they have had. And since they are coming for this particular tournament in the 3rd round, it is going to bring that form. And since the defensive line of its opponent is not very tight, we want to look at the home to take advantage of that weak defense to lead this match in full time as one of the major picks. And we also want to look at least the possibility of 1.5 goal to occur in this match in full time. Looking at the next, we looked at Iran in the Persian Gulf Pro League, a match between Tractor against Havadar. For this event, of course, Tractor recently have proved to be very amazing, scoring 5 and 3 goals in each event. The opponent, on the other hand, is a very conceding team with a very weak defensive line. And looking at the performance in terms of recent event they have had in terms by the form, of course, we are going to see that the home Tractor have proved to have a better offense. Sitting on the second place, they have had 11 goals scored and 2 conceded. Good offense and good defense. But that of its opponent, on the other hand, have proved that the defensive line is not very tight. And looking at this, we look at 2 to 3 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, the performance of the home have proved to be amazing. And since the defensive line of its opponent is not very tight, we looked at the home to take advantage of the defense of the away to either lead in full time or looking at 1.5 goal for this particular event in full time. Looking at the next, we look at France, that is France in the Premier League women, a match between Reims women against Paris FC women. The performance of the home in terms of recent event have proved that they are not very tough by the defensive line and they concede much. You can see conceding 3 goals and 2 goals in the PL itself against PSG, and you can see against Lyon. But that of the opponent Paris have proved to have a very great offensive strength. You can see in the PL itself 4, 4 and 2 goals in each event. Looking at the stand performance in terms of recent event they've had, the away performance have proved to have a better stand. They sit on the second place, 5 matches played with 10 goals scored and 3 conceded, a good offense and good defense. But that of the home, in terms of the defensive line, have proved that the defense is not very tough and want to look at 2 major picks in full time. For these particular events, the away team Paris women have proved to be more offensive. And since the defensive line of the home recently have proved that they concede more, we want to look at the way to lead this match in full time as one of the major picks, and as well as the possibility of at least 1.5 goals in full time or 2 goals over. Looking at the next, we want to look at Germany in the Bundesliga, a match between Bayern Munich against Holstein Kiel. The performance of Bayern Munich based on recent event they have had have proved to be very offensive, scoring 3, 3 and even 5 goals in each event based on recent matches they have had. Holstein Kiel, on the other hand, have proved to have a weak defensive line, even though they also have a good offense. And looking at this particular tournament they are coming to meet, and the fact that the form of the home Bayern Munich have proved to have a very offensive strength, you're going to see here that, of course, they sit on the first place, topping this table, having scored 20 goals in just 5 events and 5 lead. They have a very strong offense and defense comparing to Holstein Kiel. On the other hand, of course, the defensive line is very weak. They have conceded up to 14 goals in just 5 games played, and we look at 2 to 3 major picks in full time. For this particular event, of course, the home team Bayern Munich have proved to be very offensive, and its offensive lineup of its opponent, which is Holstein Kiel, have proved to have a weak defense. And looking at this, of course, Bayern Munich will want to take advantage of the weak defense of the away to try to lead this match as one of the major picks. We also want to look at 1.5 goal in full time as well as 2.5 goals to occur in this match in full time, since the defensive line of the away is not very tough. These are our major picks for this particular event. 1, Bayern Munich to lead. 2, 1.5 goal in full time. 3, 2.5 goals in full time. Looking at the next, we looked at Wales in the Premier League, that is Premier Championship, the New Saints against Cardiff. The recent performance of the New Saints recently have proved to be very offensive, scoring 2, 2 and 5 goals in each event recently. The opponent, on the other hand, have proved that the defensive line is not very tough, conceding at least 2 goals in each event. The recent stand performance in terms of form, the New Saints have proved to have a very good form, and sitting on the first place, they top this table, scoring 14 goals in just 5 events and 7 conceded goals. That's a good offense. And looking at that of its opponent, on the other hand, the defensive line is very weak. As you can see, they have conceded up to 9 goals. And of course, we look at 2 to 3 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, of course, the performance of the home, the New Saints have proved to be more offensive as compared to that of the opponent. And since the defensive line of the away team have proved to be weak, we look at the New Saints to take that advantage. So we want to look at the New Saints to either lead in full time as one of the major picks. We also want to look at goals probability. That is 1.5 goal in full time as the next pick, as well as 2 goals over. Looking at the next, we look at Spain in the La Liga. That is Villarreal against Valladolid. In this event, the performance of the home, based on recent event they have had, have proved that they score at least 4 goals. That is 4, 1 and 1 goals in each event. The opponent, on the other hand, is just very weak in terms of defense, and the defensive line is not very strong. But looking at the stand performance by form based on recent event they have had, the home Villarreal have proved that they stand a better chance to have a lead and more goals here. Scoring 11 goals in 5 games have proved that they have good offense. But that of its opponent, on the other hand, have proved that the defensive line in terms of recent games they have had have proved to have a very weak defense. And looking at everything in place, we look at 2 to 3 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, the home have a better chance to have a lead in this event. And the fact that they have more offense with a weak defense of the away, we look at the home to either lead in full time or a double chance. But of course, goals probability is also the next option, since the defensive line of the away is not very tight. We look therefore at least 1.5 goal as well in full time. Looking at the next, we look in the Spain La Liga, Atletico de Madrid against Mallorca. In this event, the Madrid in recent event has proved to be more offensive, scoring 2-1-1 event. That is 1-1 goal in each event. But that of its opponent, on the other hand, proved to have a very weak defensive lineup. And looking at the stand performance for Atletico de Madrid, they have proved to have a better form as compared to Mallorca. Looking at the stands, of course, the top this table having 9 goals scored in 5 events to prove that the offense is strong. Comparing to the opponent, on the other hand, the defensive line is not very tight, and we'll look at 2 major picks here in full time. For these particular events, the home team, Atletico de Madrid, have proved to have more offense, and since the defensive line of the away have proved not to be very tight, we'll look at either the home to lead, and as well as at least 1.5 goal to occur in this match in full time. Looking at the next here, we want to look at Spain Liga F women. Of course, Barcelona women against Levante. The performance of Barcelona women recently have proved to be very offensive, scoring 5, 3, and 6 goals in each event. The opponent, on the other hand, of course, has proved to have a weak defensive lineup, and of course, the stand performance based on recent event they have had by the form. Of course, the form table will tell us that Barcelona, the home team, have a higher stance, topping this table, scoring 26 goals in just 5 events with 3 conceded goals. High offense and high defense, but that of its opponent, on the other hand, in terms of the defensive line, have proved to be weak with a very weak offense as well. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 to 3 major picks in full time. For this particular event, the home team, Barcelona women, have proved to be more offensive, and since the defense of the away is very weak, we look at it to take the lead in full time. We also want to look at the possibility of 1.5 goal in full time, and also the possibility of at least 2.5 goals to occur in this match in full time. Looking at the next, we look at Belgium in the Jupiter Pro League, a match between Genk against Beerschot. The performance of Genk recently have proved to be more offensive, scoring 2, 2, and 3 goals in each event. But that of Beerschot, on the other hand, proved to have a very weak defensive lineup. And looking at the stand performance in terms of recent event they've had by the game played, the form of the home Genk have proved to be better. Sitting on the first place, they have had 12 goals scored and 2 conceded. Higher offense and higher defense. But that of Beerschot, on the other hand, in terms of recent gameplay they have had, the defensive line proved to be weak. And looking at everything in place, we look at 2 to 3 major picks in full time. For this particular event, the performance of the home have proved to be more amazing, scoring at least 2 to 3 goals in each event. But that of the opponent have proved to have a weak defensive line. We therefore look at the home to take advantage of that weak defense to lead this match in full time as one of the major picks. But of course, goals probability also come in at least 1.5 goals or 2 goals over. Looking at the next, we looked at Spain in the La Liga, Espanyol against Real Madrid. And looking at the performance of the home team based on recent event, that is the away, Madrid have proved to be more offensive, scoring 3, 3, and 5 goals in each event. But that of its opponent, Espanyol, based on recent event they have proved that, of course, the defensive line is not very tight and the offense is also not very tight. And looking here at the stand performance in terms of form, the away team, Real, have proved that is to have a better stand, having sitting on the second place, they have scored 12 goals and conceding 6. But that of the home, in terms of recent form they have had, of course, they sit right here with the defense. That, of course, is average, and the offense also is average. And looking at this, we look at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular event, both of the 2 sides want to impress. And since Real have a more offense and the home team is coming home, we look at least both sides to take that advantage of each other. At least shoot on and off target will occur. We therefore want to look at least the possibility of 1.5 goals in full time. Looking at the next, we looked at France in the Premier League women, a match between Strasbourg women against PSG women. The recent performance of PSG women have proved very offensive, scoring many goals in each event, and also in the PL where they scored 3 goals against Saint-Etienne. But that of the home, Strasbourg, have proved to have a very weak defensive line, even though they do perform against Saint-Etienne as well. Both of the 2 sides want to impress. Looking at this particular tournament, which they are coming to meet, of course, the form table will tell us that the away PSG have proved to sit here on the better place. Of course, the offensive line is average, with the defense also that is good. That of the home, in terms of the recent game they have had, proved that the defensive line is not very tight. And looking at this, we want to look at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular event, of course, both of the 2 sides want to impress. And since the away is going away with a high offensive strength as compared to that of the home, we want to look at least 1.5 goal in full time, since both of the 2 sides want to impress. So at least 1.5 goal in this event in full time. And to those of you who want to have access to our hand-pick events, which we have shared to members only, as well as our match prediction pick based on corner kicks, that is 7.5, 8.5 corners, as well as corners for the first half, and of course, we reach out to take your winning to the next height, then you want to make sure to go ahead to subscribe to either the Level 2 Pro plan or the Level 3 Master plan to have access to these features to take your winning to the next height. To those of you who want to join The link is below this video description. You want to make sure to navigate the link, click and join to become a member to start to have access to this feature to take your winning to the next level. Good luck and see you again in the next upload, and bye bye for now.